Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the August 10th, 21 work session. I need a motion to go into special session, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The comprehensive plan recommendation to R. Paul Smith Boulevard.
Madam Mayor, I have moved for the mayor and city council to direct the planning commission to remove from the transportation plan improvements recommendations in the comprehensive plan that section of R. Paul Smith Boulevard plan from Howell Road dual highway to Edgewood Drive as shown in the attached map. The mayor and city council have determined that this section of the road improvement project is no longer in the public interest given development that has occurred outside of the city, but also given the nature of development plan for the Harrison tract it would traverse. At the next available opportunity of amendment to the comprehensive plan, this section of R. Paul Smith Boulevard shall be deleted from the plan. Site plans associated with the development of the Harrison tract, known as 1527 Howell Road, shall not be required to provide right-of-way for this section of R. Paul Smith. The city will prepare a memorandum of understanding with the developer of the Harrison tract to specify the city's expectations for off-site road improvements in this area related to the impacts of development of this land.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll go into our work session, and up first we have a proclamation for Forget Me Not Month. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate your service. Proclamation for Forget Me Not Month. Whereas the Disabled American Veterans Organization offers a variety of free services to disabled veterans and their families. And each year, the Disabled American Veteran Organization holds a Forget Me Not drive where all proceeds raised are given to those disabled veterans and their families who are in need. Therefore, I, be it resolved with the support of the City Council, Emily Keller, Mayor of the City of Hagerstown, do hereby proclaim the month of September as Forget Me Not Month. So, would you like to say something?
No, not really. I'd just like to ask everybody to, when you see the people sitting there collecting money, donate, because we have a lot of organizations that we support, and the money is not coming in this time. People are holding on to it, and I can understand that, but we all have to live. So I appreciate this.
Thank you for such a word of thought.
Thank you very much.
Beetlejuice.
All right, up next, we have High Impact Performance Award presentation. That is.
If I may, I would like to read an excerpt from the nomination that was submitted by Nancy Hausrath for Nelia Tippler. Nelia has worked tirelessly over the past 18 months with the stormwater management team on the new billing requirements. All of her efforts have resulted in the city being able to implement the stormwater management fee, which will allow the city to meet the requirements of the Clean Water Act. This was not an easy task with many moving parts that had to come together. Nelia has proven once again that hard work and dedication will result in the desired goal. Even though stormwater does not fall under utilities and is not Nelia's responsibility, she has been vital in implementing the billing and printing processes. Nelia has continued to work on this even when out of the area on vacation to ensure that the city's billing is completed as accurate as possible. So in recognition for your performance, we would like to present you with a certificate of recognition, and the High Impact Performance Award.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you all for
Thank
allowing
you.
us time to do this.
Absolutely.
You know, geez, just just to add, I've worked with Nelia since my first day here. There is nobody, save maybe one person that's still employed here, that knows as much about this operation and has done more to make it work as well as it does than Nelia has. I still kid her that when we went from our old ICS system to our Tyler Technologies Munis system, that she basically wrote the electric billing module for Tyler Technologies, and she's owed every residual from sales that they make for that package, because it took us quite a while, and without her, it had never been finished. And she's up for retirement here in the next couple of months, and she is going to be you are going to be sorely, sorely missed. And thank you for everything
I will miss
you've done
working
for
the
us.
city. And I enjoyed every bit of it, including the hard work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Eric wants a photograph.
Eric would like to
Nelia?
take a photo.
Eric wants a photo.
Eric wants a photograph.
Huh? The mayor's.
You can get in it, Mayor, go ahead.
You, Mayor.
Oh, with us behind.
And Mitch Evans is cemented into his office so he can never leave the city. As is Beth Everhart back there. Both of them will be here with cobwebs growing on them.
All right, support services update. Michelle and Beth.
Actually, I'm going to have Beth come to the table, our support services manager, and I'll just give a shout out because Ryan Grove is also back here. So if we have
He's right beside you.
oh, sheesh. So I'm going to, for a change, let everybody else do a presentation. They just want to give a quick update on where we stand in support services. Again, underneath Beth's umbrella is all of customer service, which is currently located in the lobby at City Hall, as well as we have our 3 billing staff who are also located in City Hall, but on the 4th floor. Yes. Okay, so I think this evening, we just want to give a quick update on, I know throughout COVID and back starting last March, I was sending out, with the assistance of the reports from both Ryan and Beth, information on specifically our active accounts. And so we're going to talk about electric, water, wastewater first. And active accounts just simply means they're not in an inactive status. We probably have as many accounts inactive and with as large of an outstanding balance as we do active accounts. Quick comparison, August the 3rd, 2021, for electric, we have total outstanding of $1.9 million. This means bills have been generated and put in the mail, and that's how much we're still owed. Compared with last August of 2020 of $1.978 million. The biggest difference, and it's substantial, is that the amount that is in a current month, meaning they're not past due, is grown. So we have more current stuff, less of that 1.9 million that is older accounts. And they can kind of just give a quick reasoning. We were thankful to get extra funding.
We got a substantial amount of extra funding. Brian made us a nice little chart here. We got Maryland Relief Fund PS 53 money, $200,497.68. We've gotten energy assistance from last July 1 through June 30th of $211,313.47, which has already been applied to customers' accounts. We got a supplemental file from the state for $198,795, and we've gotten 2 COVID arrearage payments from the state, which is totaling around $101,000. So,
And those monies were both part of Governor Hogan's package that he put out before the ARP funds came through. And the monies that came, the $200,000 that we're expecting to get through the PSC is handled a little bit differently in that it's literally coming specifically to the city of Hagerstown, and we are applying it to the accounts. They've created special codes. It's going to reflect on those customer statements. We do not yet have all that monies. So if we have customers who are expecting to receive a little bit more of a credit and have not yet seen it, it's because we have not yet got the files from the state.
What was the criteria for that money to be applied to the account?
they had to be delinquent a certain percent, and then by a certain amount of time, and then the next percent was delinquent by a lesser amount of time, and then a small percent to people who were just like 30 days delinquent, very
And
small.
Was this irregardless of whether they were on OHEP or?
These were people who were not on OHEP.
Not on okay.
Not
There
on
you go.
OHEP.
Okay.
And we actually received $967,000 for the whole year from other energy assistance like EUSP arrearage money. So that made our whole total $1,678,000 basically that we've gotten
To date.
to date.
Yeah.
To apply. Now, as these customers, this last pocket of money that was based on percents, as it builds through August, that's when they will see them. It has to be applied going through the month of August. So as their route bills, the money will be applied to their bill.
And letters have gone out to customers, so it explains that if they're
whole
going to be
process.
getting a credit, how much it's going to be, that we expect it to be applied in August. And like Beth said, as the bill cycles run through August, that's as they'll get applied during that time.
And that 200,000 was spread across about 2,916 or 17 accounts, give or take, on the electric
That
side.
had not received any type of energy assistance.
The other monies, the other pockets of money, the supplementals, all that is additional state funding that came through. But again, it went through agencies like the Community Action Council and came back, or through the Office of OHEP. People who were already receiving assistance prior, and then with the additional funding that the state was able to give, it really helped clean up some of those older balances, especially if it was an active account.
Active accounts, some of them actually wound up with credits going forward.
But nobody who had an inactive account would it apply for, which is a kicker. On the water and wastewater side, the difference, I just want to note, is that from August of 2020, so I'll start in reverse, total outstanding was about 1.2 million. This August of 2021, we're at 1.4 million. Again, the past due amount, the dollar amounts have stayed about the same. The difference is just as a reminder, in April, we just started billing for the stormwater protection fee. So in the months of April and May, the monthly customers for water and wastewater saw those fees. However, starting in June, the majority of our customers are quarterly customers, so they started hitting on bills in June. We're starting to see a lot of questions come in July and in August, but again, that water, wastewater, it all goes out as one, and water, wastewater, stormwater, and also trash is on those accounts. Real estate taxes to date, August 2020, we had collected about 57% of what was billed, and we had 13 million outstanding. In August of 2021, we have collected through the same time period about 56%. So a little bit down on collections. We still have outstanding about 12 million, and we originally billed about 27.6 million.
And some of that is the semi-annuals, which will get paid by the real estate companies in December.
So other than these extra amounts of money that have come through, there's still certain regulations and items in place. And one of the things that was new that we had to do was COVID payment plans for the electric customers. And so we have a number of those. but it's a much smaller number.
150
100
roughly.
Roughly 150. Some actually have paid them down to zero.
Yeah.
So we've had some success with that.
Some with the help of assistance, some on their own.
On their own. And we still have, I would say, maybe 130 now that we're managing,
Right.
that they are paying on.
And then, just as a reminder, you want to cover the,
Yeah, so one big thing too that's come about, we've had a lot of different things in terms of money from the state, different assistances. But ERAP is Emergency Rental Assistance Program from the state of Maryland, that they'll be providing assistance for both electric and water. And this is a whole different lump sum of money that's available for each county in Maryland. So Washington County obviously is included in this. We're starting to see pledges for that every week, and then subsequently we get checks for that every 1 to 2 weeks, it seems like, from the CAC with those funds. ERAP funds can be provided up to 15 months of assistance to renter households with rent and utility arrears, prospective rent and utility assistance, housing costs. A landlord can apply on behalf of the tenant, or the tenant can apply directly. And there's no dollar cap on the amount of assistance that can be provided to the tenant. So this is just another thing that the CAC obviously has been promoting, that we've been telling customers as they call in, if they're behind on their bills, to seek assistance on, because this is just another great way. If unfortunately you are behind, it's no better time to contact them to see if you're eligible. Even if someone might not have been eligible for regular energy assistance, they could fall into this to this program and be eligible. And not only with electric and water, but they might, it could be their rent as well.
and again, it's not that money is coming to the city. Across the whole of Washington County, about 9.4, 9.5 million.
Yep.
But please, still be aware, there is tremendous amounts of funding available for different things. It's just not that the money comes to the city and we can do it. So it's there, and we really encourage people to still reach out.
And if you might not have qualified for energy assistance because of their guidelines, this program has a whole separate guideline. So we're seeing people that typically would not have gotten any type of assistance have qualified through this and are getting assistance.
And they would go to CAC?
Go to CAC.
Also,
Correct.
okay, so everything would funnel through CAC?
Yes.
Correct.
Community Action Council,
That's
CAC, that is correct. Then I think, just to touch on two other quick things. One would be pre-COVID to COVID to now, and I'm not even gonna say post-COVID because I don't even know what phase we're in. But, so prior to March of 2020, I think everybody in this room has at one point in time come into the building and seen the tremendous amount of foot traffic, or the amount of people who physically would come into this building to make payments on electric, water, taxes, parking tickets, a variety of things. Since that time, I will say that the amount of people that we actually see coming into the building has drastically changed. It's everybody's habits and the way that they've made payments and the way that they spend their monies have all changed. And so to that point, one of the things that has always been a priority is better customer service, right? So we are working, this group, I'll give major kudos to Beth and Nathan, of course, and Electric isn't here, but it's a product called Invoice Cloud, and it is going to help facilitate, make it easier to actually make a payment with many different options that we currently don't have, in a variety of ways, and we're hoping that will be kicked off by this fall, as long as we can get all the technical pieces finished. But it will be a much better and easier process. So right now, if you want to pay a City of Hagerstown bill and you go on your website, you make a payment, you have to pull in your electric account, you have to pay it. You want to pay something else to the City of Hagerstown, you can't do it all in one. It's going to change.
You may have a ribbon cutting for that.
I'm telling you,
It
we're
has a
excited.
shopping cart. A shopping
That's a
cart.
big
It's
deal.
going to be so nice. A shopping cart, and you get a text message, and you can sign up for all kinds of things. One-stop shop.
Yeah, I think whether you're a homeowner, a tenant, or a landlord, especially landlords, if you own, a lot of properties, you have to individually pay them on, with the website. With this new
Won't be
product,
that
you'll
way.
be able to just add everything that you want to,
Your
pay
cart.
it in one swoop.
And it will
So-
take Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal.
It's gonna be tremendous.
Nice.
And so once
Big
that's,
step forward.
Big step.
once that is up and running and we have the ability to actually come back and show, we do want to do that, just to actually put it out there. And Wes, I'm sure will help us, and we'll have all kinds of stuff available to let customers know.
It's exciting.
I'm very
Edge
excited.
cutting.
Councilmember McIntyre, IVR system.
You're excited?
You know,
Bob, you
I'm very excited.
If Bob's excited, we should just adjourn now and.
We should.
Thank you guys for your work
Yes,
on that.
thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lastly, we have the Holly project update.
Good afternoon. I'm here to present the proposed financial incentive agreement for Mike Fitzgerald of Gideon Properties for the Holly project at 72 West Washington Street. And at our May 25th regular session, the council directed a $750,000 grant to Gideon Properties for this project. A little bit more about the project is it's full redevelopment and expansion of the building at 72 West Washington Street, creating 46 modern apartments with luxury features and amenities. Has capital investment of 11 million plus, so the project could be more than 11 million. It's currently in a pre-development phase, and construction is expected to start January 1st of 2022, with a targeted completion of April 1st of 2023. So the motion provided the commitment for the funding and referenced that a financial incentive agreement would be separately approved. The proposed financial incentive agreement is attached to the packet, and I'll give you a few of the highlights. It provides a $100,000 upfront grant for pre-development phase. It requires that Gideon Properties submit a detailed development plan before construction begins, and anticipated by January of 2022. And this would become an addendum to the agreement. This would include design drawings, engineering analysis, detailed construction cost estimates, and other items specified in the financial agreement. It provides a second and third disbursement of the grant at $325 each, and this would be based on that development plan, and it would be tied to the completion of defined construction phases, and that would be a separate addendum to the agreement as we work through the development plan, receipt of the development plan. The agreement requires the completion of the project by January 1st of 2024. And it requires that construction be consistent with our guidelines and standards that are consistent with the Invest Hagerstown program. It requires a minimum 2-to-1 developer match, which is easily met with a project in the range of 11 million plus. It also provides clawback provisions if the project's not completed on time or to the defined guidelines and standards. The concept plan is an addendum, is addendum number 1, and this is missing in the packet today, but will be included when this is presented for your review for vote. And I'm here to answer any questions about the financial incentive agreement, and this could be ready for a regular session approval on August 24th.
Do you guys have any questions for Jill? You guys good? Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. City Administrator.
Just a couple of things. Community yard sale at the fairgrounds at Stables area on Saturday. August 21st is August-Toberfest in University Plaza, scaled down August-Toberfest, but still going to be a great one nonetheless. Again, that's in University Plaza, and it's an all-day deal. I'm sure I'll see a few of you all there. I don't know why I just looked at you when I said that.
Thank you.
And that's all for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Bob? Shelley?
That was weird.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah, you are. I would just like to make a request for us to host an MML dinner. We haven't done that since prior to COVID, and we had only done that one. That was a rarity, I think. So if we could maybe try to figure out how to do that, I think that it would be a good idea to bring,
I can reach out to Sharon.
yeah,
Mhm.
to bring, you know, maybe Prohibition Hub or 28 South or something like
Okay,
that. So
could do that.
that's it.
So, the community cleanup, the citywide community cleanup, I just want to shout out Trevor Willard, Brett Gusford, Malik Phillips, and Peggy Mothershed. They don't live in the city, but they all showed up, and not only that, they were mobilized. And
They were
so went
climbing in bushes.
They were under bushes, and they cleaned up a tree line over in the north end. Just a very, very awesome group of young people that were just ready to get dirty and do whatever. And then also, thank you to the Hagerstown Housing Authority for the community cookout that they did at Robert W. Johnson Community Center. And they fed us hot dogs and chips and stuff after the cleanup. So it was just an awesome Saturday of community.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I'd like to echo the support that we received for the cleanup this past Saturday. I would like to give a special shout out to Heather Tapley. She saw the Facebook post and messaged me right away and said, hey, I have 20 people coming. And I was like, oh, okay. She provided water, and it was also nice to see the residents. We took the Bester location area. The residents came out and offered us soda and water and even a bag of tomatoes. Yeah. So they were happy to see us out there. In another note, I'd like to thank the Hagerstown Parks and Recs Department for the improvements to the Wheaton Park shed that the staff uses. There's now a window and a sink, and it looks more convenient for people to stay in there and have a break time when they're not cleaning up our parks. So, thank you.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Lieutenant Renner for National Night Out and everyone else that was involved for putting that together. It was a great event. It's nice to be out in public again. And I echo everything you guys said about the community cleanup. It was mind-blowing, even just driving around town after I got done handing out bags to go to the next location, seeing people out, people that we don't normally see, people that weren't associated with any of us that had organized groups, and driving to Central Lot at around 8 o'clock in the morning, which was an hour before it officially started. There was already people out in the south end cleaning. So it was a awesome event. I appreciate Eric Dykey and his team for helping us clean everything up, and to our PCAD department who had volunteers that came and cleaned up downtown as well. So thank everyone for the group effort. And lastly, just wanted to thank the members of the Homeless Coalition and the Health Department that joined us at a meeting here this morning to look at how we can collaborate as entities and with the city and with the Health Department and all hands on deck to fix some of the issues that we all see we're facing in this city. So more to come on that, but we had a really great meeting. We're going to meet every 2 weeks and looking forward to making some progress there. And with that, happy to...
Real quick, since you brought up the National Night Out, I 100% expect to see you in the dunking booth next year.
If I would have known, I'd have been in the Dunkin' Tank
She
this year.
asked us
I'm
that
in.
night. She was
Yeah.
like, let's get in. I was like, no.
I told Lieutenant Renner, put me on the list.
100%.
I got
I'll
it.
pay to be able to throw.
All right, I'm gonna charge you, only you.
I'm good. I'm good. Cool.
You take paws to the face.
Paws to the face. With that, happy Tuesday, good night, we're adjourned.
Sounds like they're having a lot. Hello and welcome to Council Wrap. I'm Wes Decker, and I don't even know how to act. I mean, I've got 3 guests tonight. I mean, this is more than I ever get. I didn't think there were enough short straws to go around, but evidently there are. Michelle Hepburn, our Chief Financial Officer, is here. Ryan Grove, who is our Customer Services or Support Services Supervisor. I knew I would get it eventually. And Support Services Manager, Beth Everhart. Thanks for being here. One of the topics that you talked about, or the agenda item that you were in front of Mayor and Council for to make your presentation, had to do with where we stand as far as utility bills are concerned, and what the city's been able to collect to this point, what that means to our customers, also looking at property taxes, real estate tax money that we've collected to this juncture. And I think what we're really attempting to do here with this particular segment is talk a little to those who are still struggling a bit, and just sort of enlighten them to the money that is available out there. And it was talked about, and we've been talking about this, I know, behind closed doors and in front of cameras now for well over a year without question. I mean, since the pandemic really set in and kind of turned things on its ear. So Beth, let me start with you, because things have changed over that period of time with money becoming available. So can you kind of just lead us into all of this by discussing some of those options that are available to customers at this point who may be in arrears, struggling to make payments?
They can certainly go to CAC and apply for the standard Maryland Energy Assistance Program to see if they qualify for that, which provides several different kinds. It pays arrearages on bills, a monthly payment towards your bill going out, or a lump sum payment. But there's also another pocket of money over there, the ERAP program. It's hard to say.
Well, it's perfect for Council Wrap, ERAP.
ERAP.
Yeah.
And that is a whole separate pool of money that is available at CAC for rental, utilities, their water, their electric, even gas, Columbia Gas. So there's no dollar cap on that, and they are encouraging people to apply. There is a lot of money available, so if they're behind, they really need to go over and seek assistance from both of those. They may not qualify for one, but they may qualify for the other.
So no dollar cap, but what about any other type of eligibility requirements or anything like that, Ryan?
No, I mean, a landlord can apply on behalf of the tenant. The tenant can apply directly. And again, like Beth said, it's for rent, utilities, including electric, water, gas. And again, the CAC will have different requirements that they'll need to meet when they apply for that program. But even if someone's not eligible, say for a regular energy assistance, they may be eligible for this program. This is a whole different set of, I guess, amount of money that's been allotted for this specific need. And I know there's still people in need in the community through the pandemic, so this is a great way to seek assistance and potentially get assistance. So.
Michelle, how long has this money been available at this point in time?
The ERAP, which is ERAP, is actually new and has probably come from some of the overall American Rescue Plan monies of 2021, because there was a lot of different, when I say buckets and pools of money that went out to a variety of agencies. And again, This money is available, and it's available for all of Washington County, but it doesn't necessarily go to the city of Hagerstown as a provider or to specifically other providers. It goes to those agencies who are accustomed to helping these customers the most. Community Action Council, CAC. Right now, I don't know when the expiration is. I don't know that we had a drop-dead time frame for when it expires. But, you know, the sooner the better. I think our biggest thing that we could just impart and leave everybody with this evening is don't wait until it's too late or you receive a notification of a disruption to your termination because of non-payment or past due bills. Please, at the point that you get the initial bill, if there is something on there that you have questions with or you want to send a check but you're not going to send the full amount, please still, it is very important that you reach out to this group, and you can reach out to them via phone, email, or come in person here to City Hall.
Boy, you're really looking at wrapping this thing up, aren't you? Nice, neat little bow on that. But I did want to get to a couple of other things, if you'll
Please do.
indulge me.
No, yes.
One thing that Beth said during the meeting, I kind of jotted down loosely here, talked about the extra money, the reference that came in, and I think that's something that we just talked about here a little bit. But I guess my thing was, what I was trying to wrap my head around a little bit was that money, how does that work? How is that allocated? So that money comes to the city, and then how is it allocated in terms of being applied to these accounts?
The state had very stringent requirements as to how we took that money and applied it to a customer's account. So we had to follow the guidelines and the rules that they gave us.
Okay.
And it was based on dollar amounts and longest delinquencies, working backwards, percentage-wise. And that's
Gotcha.
how they told us we had to do it. And it will be applied going through the month of August as the customer bills. It will be a payment towards their bill when it goes out. And they will see that amount on there.
Ryan, I know for a long time, and I think even still, to some degree, when it comes to the reality of this situation, which is something that we tried to get in front of from the very beginning, from the customer standpoint, just letting them know, hey, whatever situation you're in, we have payment plans available. You need to reach out to us. You need to make an effort. We're here for you, but we don't necessarily know what your situation is.
Right.
We can look at your account, but we don't know what's going on with you personally. So when it comes to payment plans and things of that nature, Michelle mentioned it a little bit, you know, here's how you can pay your bill, here's how you can do this. What's the best route for people to go if they're still looking at needing to do something like that at this point?
I mean, again, just reaching out directly. So whether it's an email, a phone call, staff is trained and knows what the requirements are set forth by both the state, what we have to follow. Payment arrangements, we encourage everyone to reach out ahead of time. I know no one expected a pandemic, but at the same time, we're in it. It's here. It's still happening by all means, and it's easier to get out. At this point, if you haven't contacted us, if you're months behind, if you're a month behind, if you think you're going to be behind, now is the time to reach out. You know, we are willing to work with anyone. You know, and there's, in terms of anything that people have, every situation is different. And we understand that, and we don't claim to know every situation that everyone has been through. But by all means, you know, whether it's an email directly, customer service at hagerstownmd.org, they can call the regular phone numbers 301-790-4160, or they can come in City Hall. We're open every day, Monday through Friday, weekdays. So not open Saturday and Sunday, but Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And we have staff available to handle, you know, all of those incoming requests. But again, I just urge people to actually contact us. I don't know what you're going through or what situation you're facing, you know, unless you contact us.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be pandemic related. There are other situations where people fall behind, and we certainly want to work with anybody, but you have to reach out to us. We just don't know what's going on in your home.
And just one further word to like piggyback on what they have both said. Absolutely email, reach out, leave a message. But most importantly, if this group, and there's only a handful of people who act, and everybody is here locally in this building at the City of Hagerstown who's responding to the phone calls, the in-person, the emails. So sometimes a customer will send an email that says, hey, I have this situation and this problem. They haven't identified anything. There's not a location. We don't know if it's an electric bill, water, wastewater bill. We don't know if it's taxes. We don't have an account number. And some people may have so many different properties and so many accounts. It's very cumbersome.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're not even able to find them if it's just their name.
Right. Makes
Because-
it easier for everyone to
Right.
identify
Yeah.
what
Right.
account you're referencing.
Please put a little information
yeah,
in
It
there.
saves a lot of time.
Yeah, for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And Michelle, let me ask you, I mean, what is your biggest concern? When you kind of look at the numbers in comparison from last year to this year and where we are at this point and the information that was provided in the packet for the meeting, is there one just big concern?
I think honestly, our numbers, the total amount of dollars that we have billed that is not yet been paid has not changed. We are not seeing big shifts and changes. We have seen a slight adjustment, like specifically on the electric side, where there was more past due in August of 2020 compared to August of 2021. But that's because, it's both a positive and a negative. Everybody has been overwhelmed with information on all this money that is out there floating and available. And there's been so many different buckets and pots, and every single bit of it had different criteria on it. The majority of all of it, aside from one, went to all these other agencies to provide back. There was one small portion, which is $200,000 to the Maryland Relief, that's coming specifically to the city. And again, as a reminder, that will come on your bill starting in August. But I guess for me, my concern would be this. We've done so much with the money that's available and out there and arrearages for people who have active accounts. I just don't want somebody now to, moving forward, wait until next January or February and have fallen into that where we've gotten behind again.
Right.
Because once, and I'll speak from personal experience, once I get behind in things, it's so much harder to catch up. So again, just as they've mentioned, please reach out.
Yeah.
Do not hesitate.
Be active about
Be
it now.
very
Be
proactive.
proactive, be active, get it done now. Let's leave on a positive note if we can, Ryan. What are some of the, give us a success story or two based on people being proactive and the money that's been available and taking advantage of that?
I can think of probably a lot of different instances, but as the different payment plans that we've set, as set forth by the state, like different guidelines, someone was able to set up a payment plan. They unfortunately had a death in their family. It was COVID related. And so they lost half of their income. And they qualified for assistance, but it did not pay their entire bill. They got assistance, but then at the same time, they were able to set up a payment plan to keep their electric and water on. Specifically, the electric was the big deal, and that person now to date paid their bill off. So they paid monthly payments as well as keeping their current bills paid by their due dates. The monthly payments were much smaller, whereas they're just paying the current bills by the due dates. And they have a zero balance. I think actually as of today, they have a credit. This particular person would call me every month directly. And after I heard of the situation, I reached out, and she would call each month to let me know that she had made her payment because she, was concerned. And, even though I assured her, hey, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but I look at that as a success. Unfortunately, they suffered great loss. In the meantime, to lose utilities in the midst of all of that would have been devastating to her and her kids.
Sure.
So she was able to turn that around, and at least now I think she's actually qualified for assistance again. She has a credit going forward, and she's set up at least, in a much better way than she was, say, 12 months ago this time.
Wow.
So.
What an emotional story. That's, wow. Yeah.
And there's a
like
lot
you said,
like that.
Yeah, we just don't know what
Yeah.
those
No,
backstories are. So what's the best thing that we can leave people with, Beth?
We're here to help.
Yeah.
And we want to work with you.
Been saying that all along, and as Ryan outlined, certainly, that's, when you reach out and you make that connection, that way we can take care of
We can
those
work through it
needs.
together.
Yep, make it happen.
And this group has been phenomenal. Customer service is never easy, it's never fun. But one of the other things that they have done proactively is put packets together for where do they need to go, the application stuff. So even though it's nothing that we can necessarily do here,
Yeah.
we still put the packets of information available and together so that hopefully it's easier for somebody.
Right.
So we're not sending them all.
Yeah, we can be that, we can be that point of contact where they
Right.
come, they can get the
Right.
packet, and they can take it from there. Michelle, Ryan, Beth, thank you very much. Certainly appreciate it.
Wes.
Yeah, thank you.
Liz.
That's it for Council Wrap. We'll see you next time, following the next work session, right here on the City of Hagerstown channel.